bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Jingle hell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle hell, jingle all the way. The hounds of death run loose tonight. They rip, they ride the sleigh.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells are bobbing ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Crashing as we go, and the hearse knows the way. To hell is painful and slow, crying all the day. The spirits awaken soon, mournful is my flight. Darkness is a moon, death embrace the night. Jingle hell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Jingle hell, jingle all the way. The hounds of death run loose tonight. They rip, they ride the sleigh. As I stood up cold and forlorn, laughter came like a blow. Up the hill he came, a cur, young, eager and a hurry. Take no notice, he said, do not err. It's Christmas, forget everything.
Now the ground is white, go reap when you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing this sleighing song.
So take advice, my friend, pick them wildest time. To hell all I will send, ever darker than night. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. The hounds of death run loose tonight. They rip, they ride the sleigh.
Merry Christmas. There, Christopher Lee managing to sound like a karaoke singer to his own Christmas song. What you gonna do? Anyway, welcome one, welcome all to the penultimate Quizcazoatl Tuesday Publess Pub Quiz of the year. It has been a heck of a year, and I promise you, when we started doing this, I did not expect to be doing it 9 months later. But we are very proud to have all of you still with us, unless no one's listening. No, I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, as you well know, Quizcazottl's Publess Pub Quiz is a quiz in 4 parts. First off, for round 1, we will have some trivia and a spattering of the pictures from our picture round. If you haven't found the picture round yet, well, I will put the pictures on screen, but you can also go to hang on a second, that can't be right, to bit.ly, let's get that up there, bit.ly/quizcazoatl_pictures. We'll then have a music round. Round 2 will be more trivia and more pictures, and we will finish with our special Christmas wipeout. If you would like to play along, even have a chance to win against our formidable batch of regulars, then go to bit.ly/quizcazoatl_answers to get the Google form answer sheet. We will ask you for an email address. I promise we're not going to pass it on to Santa to inform his naughty list. We just use it to share the burden of marking, and we're very grateful to everyone who marks. That's enough quadmin for starters. Let me get rid of the links and let's get straight on with question. I say straight on. Now it's ready to go. Is it? No, none of that was positioned correctly. Disaster. Let's get straight on to question 1. What is roasting on an open fire in Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song? What is roasting on an open fire in Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song? Okay, I suspect that wasn't too difficult, so we'll get question 2 up as well. What J is the term for a short tune used in advertising? What J? We don't give any clues to anything in this quiz. What J is the term for a short tune used in advertising? And we can also get our first picture round, our first picture question for today up on screen. And this is all about Christmassy people. Can you give the commonly used names, if there's any doubt? In many cases there isn't. Commonly used names for these 6 individuals. 6 people means, 6 answers means 6 points for this one. Okay, hopefully you've worked most of those out by now. If anyone is new to the quiz, an unlikely event after all this time, but you never know. If you're new to the quiz, do be warned, it is good to get a bit ahead with the pictures. So do feel free to look at them before I get them on screen, otherwise it can get a bit frantic at the end of the rounds. Question 4 though, what word comes immediately before soldier in the title of the 2014 sequel to Captain America, The First Avenger? What word comes immediately before soldier in the title of the 2014 sequel to Captain America, The First Avenger? Question 5. What items are collected by Sonic the Hedgehog? It's probably Christmassy because his back looks a bit like half of a Christmas tree, maybe? Throughout most levels of the video game franchise. What items are collected by Sonic the Hedgehog throughout most levels of the video game franchise? For question 6, it's back to the pictures. And we have one of our favourites on Quizcazoatl. It's the Venn diagrams. Can you work out which items live in the intersections of these ovoids of things? Okay, question 7 now. The prospect of a white Christmas, right? White Christmas? Good old white prospect of a whitey crimbo recedes with every passing year of climate change. But we're still going to pretend that snow is Christmassy. But what is the chemical formula for snow? Or what is the chemical formula for snow? And question 8, or what T comes before town to give a nickname for Hollywood? I'm expecting the Quizcazoatl movie to go into production next year, but what T comes before town in a nickname for Hollywood? Another picture question for question 9. We have got some words that start with a C and end with an S. Can you work them all out? Alrighty then, on to question number 10. On whose feast did good King Wenceslas look out according to the popular carol? On whose feast did good King Wenceslas look out according to the popular carol? Let's also put question 11 on the board. Which Yorkshire football club, nicknamed the Tykes, play at Oakwell? The honest to middling hedonists will love this question, very international. Which Yorkshire football club, nicknamed the Tykes, play at Oakwell? Okay, I am going to put our fourth picture question, question 12, on the board, and then I am going to give last week's winners, the lockdown haircuts, their prize question. So, first off, let's see picture 4. We have got some Christmas TV episodes. Can you name the programme from which these are Christmas episodes? 6 Christmas shows, 6 points available. Now, while you muse on that, I am going to give the lockdowns their question. Lockdowns, this is just for you. Everyone else, keep staring at David Mitchell. So, lockdowns, your prize question as last week's winners is, what is the biggest selling UK Christmas number 1 of all time? What is the biggest selling UK Christmas number 1 of all time? Well, the lockdown haircuts say, do they know it's Christmas? It was Geldof and the gang, and indeed that remains the UK's biggest selling #1 single, Christmas. Anyway, well done, lockdowns. Jane, the temple elf, will be in touch to sort out your prize. For everybody else, we have a spot prize question. Are you jealous of the lockdowns for their opportunity, or their not an opportunity? Are you jealous of the lockdowns for their limited edition, not available in the shops, Quizcazoatl publess pub quiz shirt, or indeed any of the other many Quizcazoatl branded items that they may have decided that they've won? In that case, get an answer in to our spot prize question. Everyone is allowed to enter this individually. Send your answers to... I'm doing this in the wrong order, aren't I? Let's get the question up first, then I'll tell you who to send your answers to. So the question: how many weeks has Last Christmas by Wham spent in total on the UK charts, in both the original form and its re-release, as of the 17th of December 2020. I'm asking you to work out how many weeks has Last Christmas by Wham spent in total on the UK charts, in both the original and the re-release. Send your answers to that to us. You can use the Facebook Messenger service, or you can email us, quizcazoatl@gmail.com, or you can send it to me on WhatsApp or any other thing you think you know how to do that will get my attention. How many weeks has Last Christmas spent in total on the UK charts? And while I'm thinking about the spot prizes, I am trying to get hold of Richard from the Midway Kings to arrange your t-shirt tiebreak. We've rolled Georgina over from 2 weeks ago to play against Richard, who got the second spot prize question last week. You can keep thinking about Wham. I will be coming back to them around about question 17, so any answers received by then will be considered. Question 13, though. Who resigned as leader of the Soviet Union on the 25th of December 1991? The ultimate Christmas present for capitalism. Who resigned as leader of the Soviet Union on the 25th of December 1991? And let's do question 14 as well. We are on to picture 5 already. And it is your friend and mine. Scions of the 2000s will remember the discipline of the Christmas text. We have perhaps a record-breakingly long one for A this week. We are looking for 2 Christmas lunch items. Can you mash the dialing pad with your palm and bring me up 2 Christmas lunch items? Alrighty, question 15. In the movie Home Alone 2, the Christmassy tale of an abandoned child being pursued by threatening men, which well-known man, playing himself, directs Kevin to the Plaza Hotel lobby? In the movie Home Alone 2, which well-known man, playing himself, directs Kevin to the Plaza Hotel lobby? Okay, question 16. Now is your last chance to get in your Whamageddon guesses. How many weeks has Wham's... I can't remember what the song is now. Last Christmas, I guess. How many weeks has Last Christmas spent in the UK charts in total in all iterations? Now, question 16. Asymmetric speech marks. How upsetting. What animal is mentioned in the second line of the 1823 poem that begins, "'Twas the night before Christmas"? And on Quizcazoatl, little Chris had his hat on, and under it was a stotle. Could that be the real line? Maybe. All right, coming on to question 17 now, and that takes us to picture number 6. We have got some more logos for you. It is a bumper crop of logos this week. We have got 9 brands and or TV shows. Can you get them from their lettery logos? 9 brands or 9 logos means 9 whole points available. All right, spot prize answers. Well, we had a bit of a range. Alon and Andy both thought that Last Christmas had spent less than a year in the charts. Fiona thought it had spent 4. In truth, it's coming up on 2 years, 94 weeks in the charts. That means that unless I've missed someone, the closest answer to spot prize number 1 is Oliver from the Orcs. Well played, Oliver. We will find out who you will be facing when we get to spot prize number 2 during round 2. Let's also do question 18. Which monarch of England was crowned in Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day over 950 years ago? Which monarch of England was crowned in Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day over 950 years ago? Okay, heading for the end of round one. Here's our last picture for the round. We have got 4 individuals. All of them were born on Christmas Day. None of them, so far as I can see, is Jesus. What a coincidence. Anyway, can you name all of them? And there is no prize this week for getting the year that they were born. If you know the year in which each and every one of them was born, well done you, no points. And the final question of round one. What part of the body is made red and bulbous? Stop that. Stop that. What part of the body is made red and bulbous by a skin condition called rhinophyma? What part of the body is made red and bulbous by a skin condition called rhinophyma? That's the end of round one. I am going to give you 5 minutes to get a drink, get comfortable, look under the sofa for loose change, wrap a small Christmas present, wrap a child over the knuckles, send a child up a chimney, or baste a turkey. And then we'll be back for the music round. Okie dokie teams. Thank you for getting your answers in, if you did. If you haven't submitted yet, and really at this point you need to, because we're about to go to the music round. And the music round is going to be on the next Google form. The Quizcazoatl Music Round is a decade-spanning treat for all the family. We are going to give you songs from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughties and the tenties. We just ask you to name the song and the performing artist. This week we have a couple of answers which are collaborations. So for those answered, it is going to be half a point for each contributor. Anyway, hopefully that's clear. A point each for the title and the artist. If there are a couple of artists together, then it's half a point for both of them. I'll play them once, I'll let you discuss it for a minute, and then I will play them again.
And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me.
You promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome.
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the junk they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing Go Away Babe, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
Your eyes are like starlight.
To break this spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks swell.
So say no, no, no,
Mind
sir.
if I move a little
At
close?
least there will be, ooh, that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out.
The second day of Christmas, my baby gave to me the keys to a CLK Mercedes. On the first day of Christmas, my baby gave to me quality T.I.M.E. Feeling it, I feel so good. He makes me feel so in love. If he only knew what he does to me, my man, my baby. Oh, he makes me feel so lovely, so sexy. I'm so in love. How I love him for his generosity, my man, my baby. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? He said that he'll be with me real soon, so I wait
Okay, I see that some time ago I ignored a question or a request for clarification on question 3. I was asked how many points there were for picture 3, sorry, and there are, I believe, 8 things. 8 things were in picture 3. Probably a little late now, but don't say that I ignore you permanently. Anyway, here comes that music once more.
And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me.
You promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome.
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the drunk folk were singing. We kissed on a corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing Go Away Babe, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
I knew how
your eyes are like
to
starlight.
break this spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks swell.
So say no, no, no,
Mind
sir.
if I move a little
At
close?
least there will be, that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out.
On the second day of Christmas, my baby gave to me the keys to a CLK Mercedes. On the first day of Christmas, my baby gave to me quality T.I.M.E. Feeling it, feels so good, he makes me feel so in love. If he only knew what he does to me, my man, my baby. Oh, he makes me feel so lovely, so sexy. I'm so in love. How I love him for his generosity, my man, my baby. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? Said that he'll be with me real soon, so I waited.
Okay, hopefully you have all of those songs written down by now. If not, you have a minute to do it while we do our round 1 marking. Designated markers, if you go to your email, hopefully you will find their sheets to mark. With my standard thank you to the WHO for doing 2 rather than only 1. Very decent of you. So let's look in on round 1. Question 1. I'm sure that everybody knows this. What is roasting on an open fire in Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song? It is, of course, the corpses of his enemies. The corpses of his enemy. No, hang on a second. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong line of the answers. It is chestnuts. Chestnuts are roasting on the open fire in the Nat King Cole song. My apologies. What J is the term for a short tune used in advertising? Well, so soon after Christopher Lee's very special take on Jingle Bells, I can see you all got jingle. Into question 3, we had our first picture, 6 people to name. First off, we have, is that a Wizard of Oz photo maybe? We have Judy Garland. Then Bouchite Noel Fielding. Then Mary Portas. Then Robin Williams. Then Carol Baskin. And finally, Ben Shepherd. Judy Garland, Noel Fielding, Mary Portas, Robin Williams, Carol Baskin, and Ben Shepherd. You can humbug all you like along. I do at least know that you have a cute dog, so that's something. Question 4. What comes immediately before Soldier in the title of the 2014 sequel to Captain America: The First Avenger? It is Winter, the Winter Soldier. Most of us knew that. Question 5. What items are collected by Sonic in the video game? It is rings, or if one wanted to be particularly specific, gold rings, but rings will do. Hang on a second. That's surprising. Blinky says that the answers just spontaneously changed to last week's answers. Answer 6, you say? Not on my version. How has that happened? Very strange. Have they changed back again yet? Alright, we seem to have some sort of a problem going on. Well, I have answer 6 open and it looks okay to me. So I don't know why that shot out for you. Ryan, have you not had an email? Well, I don't know why that would be at all. If I have to resend them, we're going to get into another everyone has the wrong sheet catastrophe. Let's see. Jack from Meet the Parents, if you are listening, can you tell me, did you get an email? If not, I think I might know what I did wrong. If now, well, this is all very surprising. Apparently, answer 6 changed spontaneously to last week's answers and then changed back. So that's somewhat better. Yeah, I say I'm going to have troubles. I think that I'm going to have to resend the answer links because I forgot to do things in the correct order. So what I'm going to have to ask you to do is, you don't need to change any marking you've already done, but if everyone can go to your email in a minute, and you're all going to have had a new link. In some cases, the new link will be the same as the old link, but the best way to manage these disasters is for everyone to swap over, with my apologies. I think the links got sent round in last week's order. Ah. Hey Taylor, you did get it. Well. Alright, well I'm not 100% sure, Ryan, why you didn't get an email. It might be that it was just lost in the tubes. Anyway, with a bit of luck, those replacement emails have come through, so if you can sort of click onto there. Let me just give a quick answers recap in case you need to go backwards. Wouldn't be Quizcazottl's Publess Christmas if we hadn't had a little bit of a minor programming fiasco. So, just to review. Just to review then, do I have any feedback on whether the additional emails have come in? If anyone could confirm they've had the second email. As I say, please abandon the sheet you were doing at first and move on to whatever link is in the second email, or else we'll have all sorts of trouble with everyone trying to mark the same thing at the same time. Now, Blinky says, now Google has broken. It was only a matter of time before the amount of processing they were trying to do at Google collapsed the system. I honestly hadn't realised that it would be the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz that was the straw that broke that particular camel's back. New email had no attachment. It's not supposed to. Did it not have a link? That can't be right. I do remember that there was a Google problem. Alright, well, okay. Some of you are marking some sheets. Let's go through the answers. I will catch everything else up during round 2 if needed. Apologies for the kerfuffle, just when we were making good time. Okay, so question 1, we had chestnuts. Question 2, we had jingle. I think everyone got both of those. Question 3, we had some Christmassy celebrities. Judy Garland, Noel Fielding, Mary Portas, Robin Williams, Carol Baskin, Ben Shepherd. Let's see, let me just give the linkless footlins a link. I've absolutely no idea how you managed to get an email without a link. Where are you, footlins? Oh, there you are. Try that. Okay, all right, where was I? Question 4, it was the Winter Soldier. Question 5, Sonic collects rings. Question 6, we're on to the Venn diagrams. First off, we had sack. Sack, ways to be fired, and races at the school fair. Then we had cracker, things that follow nut and that follow puller. And finally, we had frost. That was American poets, not familiar with his work, if the truth be told, and fictional British detectives. Picture 3 is Mary Portas, not Mary Porter. If anyone who wrote Mary Porter would like to claim that it was a lost in translation error, Otherwise, I guess we can have maybe half a point for Mary Porter. It is, of course, it's not a spelling challenge, so if people have just spelt something wrong, do give them the benefit of the doubt. Can you have Lewis? Not since he got all weird and started talking about men's rights. No, hang on, that's not Lewis, that's Lewis's sidekick. Anyway, however far it goes down the chain, I'm not comfortable with it. It is probable at this point, Ryan, that you just entered your email address wrong. Let me send you something directly. All right, try that on WhatsApp. It's a whole lot of to do. Okay, what do we have? Sack, Cracker and Frost for 3 points for 6. Question 7. This is a sort of a fairly soft trick question. There was someone who was anxious not to have subtexted the 2 here, and correctly so. It's H2O. Of course, the state of matter doesn't affect the chemical formula. Hollywood is Tinseltown for question 8. Then on to question 9. We have a whole bunch of things here. 8 things to name. First off, your one-eyed friend is Cyclops. Then we have philosopher extraordinaire Confucius. King of mustards, it's Coleman's. Tooth rotter Candyfloss. Home of Chavismo, it's Caracas. Everyone's favourite alternative to centigrade is Celsius. Clickety things are castanets, and that pupa is a chrysalis. 8 points for Cyclops, Confucius, Coleman's, Candyfloss, Caracas, Celsius, castanets, and chrysalis. If you put Nutcracker, that is fine. We know exactly what you meant. So yes, if someone's put Nutcracker instead of just Cracker, I think that's okay. Where are we? Okay, question 10. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen. The snow was deep, crisp and even. The snow is not settling at Quizcazoatl headquarters, but we'll keep you updated if I get any snowballs. The Yorkshire Football Club, nicknamed the Tykes, is Barnsley. Barnsley, home of the Barnsley Chop. Barnsley FC for a point. 6 TV programmes in picture 4. We had Outnumbered, Father Ted, my personal favourite Christmas special. We got Doctor Who and the Killer Christmas Trees, Peep Show, Paw Patrol, and Community. They were Outnumbered, Father Ted, Doctor Who, Peep Show, Paw Patrol, and Community. 6 points available. Question 13. Resigning as leader of the Soviet Union so he could go and open his presents, it was, of course, Mikhail Gorbachev. Gorbachev alone is fine. We then had some predictive texts. They were pigs in blankets and parsnips. And there's going to be nothing between you all this week. All of these Christmas-themed questions are too easy. Everyone's getting everything. In Home Alone 2, we see Donald Trump. Question 16. The second line of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Point for mouse. Question 17. The logos were Chanel. Someone put Coco Chanel, or a few of you put Coco Chanel. I think that's fine. That's her company, isn't it? Then we got Hasbro. We have the Rugrats. This whole Lewis thing, I don't know whether there is a famous American poet called Lewis, but it doesn't run with the Christmas theme, does it? How is Lewis Christmassy? So I'm inclined, if someone can send me a link to the Wikipedia article for a very successful poet called Lewis, I'll consider it. What was I? I've distracted myself in the middle of answering. It's very unprofessional. We had Chanel, Hasbro, Rugrats, Illy, Sprite, Tempur, More For, Amazon, and Scrubs. Was that 9 points? Good grief. Chanel, Hasbro, Rugrats, Illy, Sprite, Tempur, More For, Amazon, and Scrubs. C.S. Lewis as a poet. Well, I am willing. Well, they are American, but I am willing to accept that Lewis was a somewhat reasonable answer for poets meets detectives at half a point for Lewis. A reasonable case was made, and providing you disown the work of Lawrence Fox, it's all okay. What was that movie with Lawrence Fox in that I'm supposed to recommend? Very good movie with him in. Is it Us Among the Stones or something? If you get a chance and you haven't gone off Lawrence Fox yet, do consider watching Us Among the Stones. There is, briefly, an example of Jane the Temple Elf's graphic design in the movie. So that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Anyway, I'm digressing an awfully long way from reading out any more answers at this point. So let's finish. Which monarch was crowned in Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day over 950 years ago? It was William I, Willie the Conk. William the Conqueror, if you want to be formal. And finally, rhinophyma is, of course, a condition of the nose. Minus points for anyone who said anything naughty. It's Christmas, for goodness sake. We'll come back with the marking on that in a bit. No, with the scores on that in a bit. In the meantime, let's get question 1 of round 2 on the board. Can you rearrange the letters in Smart Heretics to find something festive? All of you Oliver Cromwell types out there will know that all people who celebrate Christmas are heretics, but can you get an acronym turn Smart Heretics into something festive? I did miss question 19. My apologies. This is what happens when you get in a hurry. They were 4 people in question 19. They were Dido, Chris Kamara, Justin Trudeau, and Annie Lennox. And Fiona, technically they weren't born the same year, so now who looks stupid? I have been asked whether Tempur-Pedic is acceptable instead of Tempur, which I guess, is that from one of the logos? I think that is fine. If it is the logos, it's definitely fine because the Tempur bit is the same in both. Yeah, that was logos. So yeah, Tempur-Pedic is fine for Tempur on question 17. Alright, I'm also going to give you question 2. I need to make up some time on all of the ado we've just been through. Which fast food chain is popular as a Christmas treat in Japan? Largely as a result of a 1970s ad campaign. Possibly 1970s AD, just for clarity for all the ancient Greeks playing. And let's get our first picture for round 2 on the board. We have got us, for picture 8, some initials. Here are things from the 12 days of Christmas. Can you work them out? I'm going to tell you in advance, I am not interested in any arguments about which day of Christmas which thing is. Just go with the letters. And question 4 is going to be a counting question. Maybe even a backwards question if you're very clever. How many days into 2020 does Christmas Day occur? Remember, you don't count the Sundays in Lent or any day in which you were in tier 4, but the county next to you was at least 2 tiers lower. All right, everybody. Question 5 now. In which year was the Richard Curtis film Love Actually released in the United Kingdom? And generous to a fault, we are giving plus or minus 1 year on that one. In which year was the Richard Curtis film Love Actually released in the UK? All right, now we are going to our winners from, in Georgie's case, 2 weeks ago, and in Richard's case, last week. Well, no, neither of you are, in fact, just the question that we just had. Let me get my organisation together so as you can be on screen. Your little 5 minutes of Christmas fame. All right, let's try that one more time. Welcome, Georgie. You are live, and welcome, Richard.
Hello.
Okay, now I think both of you have seen this before. You know the deal. I am going to read you 3 events, what happened in history, which is all the things that have already happened. You have just got to tell me what year this was. I looked at this earlier and I thought this was a bit of a toughie. So, in the spirit of Christmas, I am going to give whoever buzzes first a full plus or minus 20 years on this one. Whoever comes second, I'm going to give you 8 years. So, everything to play for. Event number 1.
How do you buzz in?
You buzz in by saying buzz or just shouting the answer. It's the technology system that I have been using successfully on radio ever since Shatner's bassoon. The system where we can't be bothered even to get something that goes buzz. It's low budget. It's not that low budget. The graphic design is worth an absolute fortune, but Jane's just very, very generous in her billing. Anyway, Ada Lovelace published an algorithm which is often regarded as the world's first computer program. That's event number 1. Ada Lovelace published an algorithm. Question 2. The Economist newspaper, magazine these days, maybe it was a newspaper back then. The Economist newspaper was first published. And finally, a little more thematically, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens was first published.
What's it last night? Is this all in the same year?
All in the same year. One of you's going to have to go for it.
Go for it, Georgie. Go for it. Buzz.
Georgie.
1843.
1843? That is outrageous. The actual answer was 1843.
Yeah!
Well done. Hey, I can't compete against that.
We watched it
well
last
played,
night.
Georgie. I thought
Oh.
the Christmas Carol. Well, Merry
It
Christmas.
was on last night, just Reece Jones.
Well done.
There you are. Cheating.
Finally, the orcs
well-
haven't done a t-shirt before, so...
Jane the Temple Elf will be in touch to arrange your prize. Richard, better luck next time. Good luck with the rest of the quiz.
Thank you. Well done, Georgie.
All right, there we are. Everybody likes a happy customer. We will, for everyone who wasn't invested in that one, although goodness knows why you wouldn't be, I am going to give you question 6, which is, of course, back to the pictures. Picture 9, we have some panto celebrities. Can you name the 6 celebrities in panto form? And I'll also put question 7 up on the board. What? Oh, no, I won't, because that's a blank board. What Christian holy day, beginning with C and ending in S, is celebrated on the 40th and last day of the Christmas Epiphany season? What Christian holy day, beginning with C and ending in S, is celebrated on the 40th and last day of the Christmas Epiphany season? And we'll put question 8 up as well. No, I'll put question 9 up. Why would I do such things? Question 8 is an audio question. We have some mystery voices for you. I am going to play you 3 clips. Listen to what the voices sound like and listen to what they say. Can you tell me who these people are? I'll play them once, give you a moment, play them again.
Number 1.
Clearly, Christmasland faces educational challenges. And that's probably because no one ever goes to school. And they hardly go to work. If they do, they simply drink heavily and try to cop off with each other. If you're seen eating a salad rather than a heavy fruit cake wrapped in disgusting marzipan, you may find yourself rebuked with the phrase, "That's not very Christmassy."
Number 2.
Fortunately, my father and I have about the same sort of shaped head. But once you put it on, it stays. I mean, it just remains. And you can't look down to read the speech. You have to take the speech up. Because if you did, it would fall off.
Number 3.
So, still kind of discovering what this movie is going to be and running around New York City in yellow tights, thinking to myself, this is either going to be a home run or people are going to go, whatever happened to you? Why did you do that one?
Number 1.
Clearly, Christmas Land faces educational challenges. And that's probably because no one ever goes to school. And they hardly go to work. If they do, they simply drink heavily and try to cop off with each other. If you're seen eating a salad rather than a heavy fruit cake wrapped in disgusting marzipan, you may find yourself rebuked with the phrase, "That's not very Christmassy."
Number 2.
Fortunately, my father and I have about the same sort of shaped head. But once you put it on, it stays. I mean, it just remains. And you can't look down to read the speech. You have to take the speech up. Because if you did, it would fall off.
Number 3.
So, still kind of discovering what this movie is going to be and running around New York City in yellow tights. Thinking to myself, this is either going to be a home run or people are going to go, "Whatever happened to you? Why did you do that one?"
Okay, let's go to question 9 and then I will give you a scores update. What is the capital of Turkey? For the avoidance of doubt, this is not a cookery question. What is the capital of Turkey? And let's have a quick scores update. It is not quite as tight as I thought it might be after round 1, but there's not much in it. On the lower tier, we have old favourites, sounds a bit hippie to me. Then we have making a stand for teams who are willing to keep changing their name. 5 Cold Things on 49. The lockdown haircuts, last week's champions, are in the lead again this week. They have 51. And back after a long school term related hiatus, it's Panic at the Tesco on Christmas holidays with 47. They're a little ahead of the Midway Kings on 46, level with the Honest Middling Hedonists on 46. The Long Orcs, after their spot prize triumph, on 47.5. I forgot to play my tiebreaker thing again, didn't I? I have a beautiful tiebreaker thing, and I keep forgetting to play it. It's very rude. Anyway, the Long Orcs on 47.5, just a smudge behind the Footlins on 48. The World Health Organization in second, 50.5, and Meet the Parents looking strong as well on 49. Everything to play for. Now, as ever, question 10 is where our pictures catch up with our question numbers. It is odd ones out. Can you tell me the cuckoo in the nest on all these categories? We've got All I Want for Christmas Is You lyrics, Cadbury's Heroes, we've got Reindeer, and we have actors in nativity films. WHO, it looks like you got halved on Tempur-Pedic, which I did come back and clarify was an acceptable answer to question 17. So I am upgrading you to a full point. That means we have joint leaders. Also, well done WHO for actively writing into your answer sheet that all of those people were born in different years. I'm also going to get another spot prize up for your chance to compete next week for the pre-New Year final Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz of the Year against Oliver the Orc. You might have seen him very briefly in the background with Georgie on that Orky win earlier. You know the rules. Send in your individual answers to me any way you know how. To 2 decimal places, we are asking how many meters of wire are there, I would say, because that's plural. Who reads this rubbish? How many meters of wire are there in a standard 7 centimeter diameter slinky? How many meters of wire are there in a standard 7 centimeter diameter slinky toy? And of course, I will be coming back with the spot prize answer round and round about question 17. So you have a little time to get that in. I will not accept answers as multiples of pi, maths people out there. Sounds a bit hippie, and it might just have been my dry eyes, or it might be that your marker was catching up with something, or maybe it just got lost in the tubes. But I've had a look, and you are actually on 48. Maybe I misread it when I read the scores out, or else it was just still catching up with itself. But you're doing a little better than I told you you were. And on the subject of getting better, let's go to question 11. How many ghosts appear to the main character in Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol? Remember, Gonzo and Rizzo do not count as ghosts. And for question 12, can you name 6 Arctic or snow-dwelling animals? Oh, hang on, that's not question 12. Where have I gone there? I've gone... Ignore me. Right, there we go. Can you name 6 Arctic or snow-dwelling animals that appear in picture 11? There they are. Look at them. They're so cute. Look, that one flies. That one's got a big head. And this one sort of just sits there with its ears. They're adorable. But can you name the 6 Arctic or snow-dwelling animals in picture 11? Alright, well that is as good a moment as any also to go to the music round answers. So, hopefully a little smoother than the last bit of marking we did. Let's see, have these updated in real life? Yep, you should have those by now. So, we have got, from the 60s, we had A Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives, or is it Eves? As I was going to Burl Ives, anyway, I know I've got nothing. Have a Jolly Holly Christmas by Burl Ives. That's from the 60s. From the 70s, we were being invited to Step Into Christmas by Elton John. On into the 80s, we all know it well, increasingly controversial as the language becomes anachronistic, I guess, but still, you know, punchy. It's Fairy Tale of New York. That is the Pogues featuring Kirsty MacColl. The Pogues and Kirsty MacColl. That was half a point each. So if you just put the Pogues, I'm afraid you only get half a point on that one. I did warn you there were going to be a couple of doubles. Into the 90s, Baby It's Cold Outside. That was the Welsh Wonders. Tom Jones and Cerys Matthews. If you put Cerys Matthews and Tom Jones, that's obviously completely equivalent. On into the 2000s. I'm distracting myself now. Don't be reading the comments and reading the questions at the same time. It's rude. On into the 2000s. We had 8 Days of Christmas, and that was Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child. And finally, into the 10s. Leona Lewis, I'm afraid she was only after 1 more sleep. So, Lockdown Haircuts with 5 more sleeps. I feel like she said that in the lyric, like basically the first thing we heard. So I am not going to give any points for 5 more sleeps. If there's one thing we know about the music round, it's that you can't just write down the last thing you heard and expect to get the answer. But it's worth a go. Anyway, the points are for 1 More Sleep by Leona Lewis. Just to recap, Jolly Holly Christmas, Burr Lives, Step Into Christmas, technically Holly Jolly Christmas, Burr Lives, Step Into Christmas, Elton John, Fairy Tale of New York, Pogues with Kirsty MacColl, half a point each. Then Baby It's Cold Outside, Tom Jones and Cerys Matthews, half a point each for those two. 8 Days of Christmas, Destiny's Child, and one only, More Sleep, Leona Lewis. And what was it? Yes, Blinky wanted to know what the last Christmas Spot Prize answer actually was. For Blinky and anyone else who missed that, it was 94 weeks it spent in total in the UK charts. Kirsty Malone. Well, it does sound a bit Irish, doesn't it? It's not really correct. It's a sort of Molly Malone of, I think definitely, yeah, give him a quarter point for Kirsty Malone. "12 Days of Christmas." I guess it's 12 instead of 8. Uh, 8 Days of Christmas. I guess 12 Days of Christmas can be half a point. I don't remember them. I wasn't concentrating on the lyrics there. I don't think that was in the words, was it? So we'll allow, unless anyone contradicts me and says that I'm being wildly unfair between One More Sleep and 8 Days, I'll say that 12 Days of Christmas can have half a mark. We have some firm feedback that 12 days is not the correct number of days of Christmas. I'll downgrade. We'll do a Kirsty Malone. We'll give 12 Days of Christmas a quarter of a mark. You can't say fairer than that. They got that it was about Christmas. I mean, that's got to be worth something, doesn't it? Anyway, enough of this tomfoolery. Let's get to question 13. Which country holds a traditional Boxing Day test match at a cricket ground known as the MCG? Which country holds a traditional Boxing Day test match, probably in the snow, probably Sweden? A traditional Boxing Day test match at a cricket ground known as the MCG. How many different numbers of days did people give for this answer? 12, 8, oh God, someone really did give 7. 12, 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, 12, 8, 9. Oh, good grief. All right, well, there seems to be some degree of consensus that you really need to have the correct number of days of Christmas for the Destiny's Child song. So, based on the fact that even some of the teams who got it wrong are condemning me for giving out the quarter point, no points for you. Dock all points for anything except 8 Days of Christmas. Might do a whole episode in the new year in the style of the Soup Nazi, and then you'll be sorry. Half a mind to just say that anyone who wrote Christmas gets the full point. Anyway, question 14 now, and it is our third audio clip. The music is the first. This is going to be 3 Christmas films. Can you name them just from these clips?
Number 1.
Now for those who's inviting me down there on such short notice. Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
Number 2.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes?
I'm trying to find a Turbo Man doll.
Me too, me too.
Do you have any more in the bag?
Everybody, these two are looking for a Turbo Man.
Get him, man.
Now, what's so funny?
Where have you guys been? Turbo Man's only the hottest selling Christmas toy ever. But you know what? We got plenty of Turbo Man's faithful saber-tooth tiger booster.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
Number 3.
I really enjoyed our walk today.
Ditto.
Would you like to repeat the experience?
Would you like to give me your number?
I don't have a phone.
Oh my God, I was just beginning to think you're not as weird as you look.
Before you throw me in the bin with the rest of your battered conquests, it's not completely true. I do have a phone. It's just locked in a cupboard.
Why?
I got so tired of staring at my hand all day. I mean, you should try it.
It's like saying you should try death.
I think somebody really wants to get hold of you.
Yeah, no, I know. Someone really isn't going to get the chance.
Number 1.
Now for those who's inviting me down there on such short notice. Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
Number 2.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes?
I'm trying to find a Turbo Man doll.
Me too, me too.
Do you have any more in the bag?
Everybody, these two are looking for a Turbo Man.
Get him, man.
Now, what's so funny?
Where have you guys been? Turbo Man's only the hottest selling Christmas toy ever. But you know what? We got plenty of Turbo Man's faithful saber-tooth tiger booster.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
Number 3.
I really enjoyed our walk today.
Ditto.
Would you like to repeat the experience?
Would you like to give me your number?
I don't have a phone.
Oh my God, I was just beginning to think you're not as weird as you look.
Before you throw me in the bin with the rest of your battered conquests, it's not completely true. I do have a phone. It's just locked in a cupboard.
Why?
I got so tired of staring at my hand all day. I mean, you should try it.
It's like saying you should try death.
I think somebody really wants to get hold of you.
Yeah, no, I know. Someone really isn't going to get the chance.
All Alrighty, I'm also going to give you the next picture to look at, just to get us moving on. We have some 6 emoji films, all set at Christmas. Finish getting your film answers in, and then on to emoji films. It's all very cinematic. And question 16. In which classic 1851 novel does the protagonist set sail on a voyage on a cold Christmas day? In which classic 1851 novel does the protagonist set sail on a voyage on a cold Christmas day? Being question 16, that is of course also your last chance to get a slinky guess in. Answer now. I will be reading the winner of Spot Prize 2 shortly. And question 17 is our penultimate picture. We have some Welsh... No, hang on, they're not Welsh railway stations. It's missing vowels. Can you get the Christmas carols and songs, or songs? Christmas carols / songs, not and songs, doesn't make any sense. Can you get the Christmas carols or songs from these vowelless words? We've got Camilla Fithel, Number Black Minginger, Winminginger, and so there you go. Okay, that brings us to the answer on our slinky question. Let me ask you, how long is a standard slinky? Most of you didn't quite get the scale of these things. We had a bunch of answers around about 3 or 4 metres. They're longer than that. Miranda, you said 8. Georgina, 9. It is longer than that. Even our proud estimators in the Midway Kings didn't go higher than 10.5. The correct answer was in fact 20.42 metres, which means that Tim, with a guess of 35 metres, you get the honourable mention for the only person who went wildly over. But Fran, unless I'm very much mistaken, you are closest with 23.4 metres. Well played, Fran. It's been a good couple of weeks for the lockdowns, especially if you're in Tier 4. I'll also put question 18 on the board. On what T is a German fir tree that follows O in a traditional German folk song that has been adapted as a Christmas carol? What T is a German fir tree that follows O in a traditional German folk song adapted as a Christmas carol? And with an eye on the time, I'm going to put up your last picture as well. Hopefully you've already looked at this a little while ago when you had a moment. But we have some random Christmassy things. I think we have 6 things here for you to name. Remember, the dashes are consistent with the number of letters, if spelt correctly. I'll hit you up with a quick scores update too. In trailing position, having been restored and then had a shocker of a music round, it is Sounds a Bit Hippie to Me, 54 3/4. Just the tiniest smudge behind the Honest Middling Hedonists on 55. We then have only 2.5 points separating the next 8 teams. Midway Kings 58, Long Orcs 58.5. The Lockdown Haircuts and Panic at the Christmas Holiday Tesco on 59. 5 Cold Things and the Footlins and the Meet the Parents on 60, and just ahead, the World Health Organization 60.5. And our very, very final question of round 2. Who led the first expedition to undisputably reach the North Pole in an airship called Norge? Who led the first expedition to undisputedly reach the North Pole in an airship called Norge? I am going to give you a couple of minutes to get those answers in, and then we are going to go to the wipeout round. Okay. That is the end of your 2 minutes. Sorry that I've hurried us along a little, but all of that kerfuffle with the scores, which I blame mainly on Ryan, although I think his email address was spelt correctly, so I think I might be getting spam filtered, but I still blame it all on Ryan. And this takes us on to the wipeout round. So move on from round 2 on to the wipeout answers. You know the deal. In the wipeout round, the last letter of every answer is the first letter of the next answer. If you get all 6 questions right, you get 2 bonus points. If, however, you get any single one wrong, you lose all of your wipeout points altogether. So, with a very tight field, there is everything to play for. In the terrifying position that we might end up with about 4 teams tied for the win at this rate. Let's see how we do. So, wipeout question 1. What alternative alliterative name for Santa Claus is the name of the main character in the film Miracle on 34th Street? What alternative alliterative name for Santa Claus is the name of the main character in the film Miracle on 34th Street? Wipeout question 2. What word is an antonym of deciduous and also the name of a song released by Will Young? What word is an antonym of deciduous and also the name of a song released by Will Young? Wipeout question number 3. What relation is Donald Duck to Scrooge McDuck? What relation is Donald Duck to Scrooge McDuck? I will not give a point if you get them the wrong way round. What relation is Donald Duck to Scrooge McDuck? A bonus point to anyone who can tell me what the heck happened to Huey, Dewey and Louie's parents. probably not a bonus point, but I do want to know. It sounds sad. Wipeout question 4. What portmanteau word, first used in the 1980s, was created as a culturally non-specific term for several celebrations from Diwali through to New Year's Eve? What portmanteau word, first used in the 80s, was created as a culturally non-specific term for several celebrations from Diwali through to New Year's Eve? Wipeout question 5. What is the English name for the largest and northernmost region of Finland? It's a popular destination for UK tourists. What is the English name for the largest and northernmost region of Finland? And to finish the Wipeout round, the last of our very, very festively themed quiz. What 1981 arcade game, also featuring an early version of Mario, is named after its ever-popular barrel-throwing antagonist? What 1981 arcade game, also featuring an early version of Mario, is named after its ever-popular barrel-throwing antagonist? Okay, I am going to give you a couple of minutes to get those Wipeout answers in. Do try to submit by the end of the 2 minutes. I am then going to play us a beautiful, beautiful bit of Christmas music from William Shatner. Be warned, if you don't get your answers in promptly, I will then play a second piece of Christmas-themed music by William Shatner.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donder and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Oh, he had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would even say, it glows. All of the other reindeer, oh, they used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say,
Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Then all the reindeer loved him, as they shouted out with glee.
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
The bit part characters in this look like the more and less successful products of a Nazi breeding program.
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, had a very shiny nose.
And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer game.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say,
Hey! Hey, Rudolph! With your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
And all the reindeer loved him, as they shouted out with glee.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Hey, man! Dude, you're gonna go down in history.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, what's Santa say?
Hey, Rudolph, baby! With your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Then all the reindeer loved him, as they shouted out with glee.
Rudolph! Dude! The red-nosed reindeer! You're gonna go down in history!
You'll go down in history.
Down, man! In history! Yeah!
Alrighty then. You should hopefully have the... Oh, no, they haven't. Oh, no, there they come. You should hopefully have the round 2 questions activated by now. Or round 2 answers, I should say. So let's not waste any time and get through them. Our anagram, round 2, question 1, rearranging smart heretics, gives you Christmas tree. We will give a point, although only grudgingly, for merriest chats. If anyone managed to come up with merriest chats, I suspect you did not. Which fast food chain is popular as a Japanese Christmas treat? Inexplicably, it is KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, if you're being formal. 12 days of Christmas items were, for question 3, calling birds, ladies dancing, pipers piping, and drummers drumming. They were calling birds, ladies dancing, pipers piping, and drummers drumming. I see. No matter how hard I tried to tell you to just follow the letters, someone did put 11 lords a-leaping for 11 pp. Just no pleasing some people. Question 4. How many days into 2020 does Christmas Day occur? It is 360. 360 days is the answer for a point. Question 5. When was the Richard Curtis film Love Actually released in the UK? That was 2003. Well, except anything from 2 to 4, which means I do believe that everybody gets that point. 6 celebrities in Panto. We had first, it's the Fonz. It's Henry Winkler. Then the vicar herself, Dawn French. Gok Hwan. Celebrity conservative Anne Widdecombe. Gandalf, Sir Ian McKellen. Back when there used to be pubs, his pub used to have a competing pub quiz. Look how that turned out for him. And finally, Amanda Holden. 6 points for Henry Winkler, Dawn French, Gok Hwan, Anne Widdecombe, Ian McKellen, and Amanda Holden. The Christian holy day, beginning with C, ending with S, was Candlemas. Candlemas. Looks like you all got that. Well played. Our mystery voices. 3 voices were David Mitchell, then adorably concerned about dropping one of the most expensive objects that most people would ever put on their head. It was Queen Elizabeth II. And finally, Anchorman himself, Will Ferrell. 3 points for David Mitchell, Queen Elizabeth II, and Will Ferrell. The capital of Turkey is, of course, Constantinople. No, sorry, hang on, they've changed it. It's Ankara. Ankara, not Constantinople. 1 point. 4 odd ones out in picture 10. We have got Playing in the Snow. We have got Twix. We have got Halo. And finally, James Corden. 4 points for Playing in the Snow, Twix, Halo, and James Corden. Will we accept the Queen? Well, on the basis that she is, by any common reference in the UK and much of the Anglo-Saxon world, the Queen, I think that is indicative enough. So yes, give the point for the Queen. If you strongly suspect that when they wrote the Queen, they were talking about Mary, Queen of Scots, then I'm going to put you in touch with the police as a medium. Where was I? So, how many ghosts appear to the main character in A Christmas Carol? Did you get that there was a trick in this question? Well, most of you did. There are 4 ghosts. Jacob Marley being, of course, the 4th. Question 12. On to picture 11. We had some adorable animals. It is the Canada goose, the reindeer, the snowshoe hare. Never heard of that. Everyone got that. Well played. The Arctic wolf, the musk ox, and finally, a popular X-Man, Wolverine. We have a Danny LaRue joke, which is happily putting my Shatner joke into the background. That's progress. After the Wolverine, we had Where is the Boxing Day test at the MCG? That is, of course, in Australia. Australia for a point. Question 14. We had some Christmas films. They were How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I see that only one team has got that exactly correct. Let's see whether... Let's have a look and see what the actual title on this thing is. Well, it does appear that it is just called How the Grinch Stole Christmas, so I'm going to give only half a point for The Grinch, unless someone can tell me that it was called The Grinch in the UK or something. We also have an important wolf's input. I'm going to have to look up... It's your evening that you're wasting. Right, I now have to look up what a timber wolf is. Well, I think that Timberwolf is a more general... I mean, it is a Christmas quiz. He's all white. We did say cold animals. I guess a lot of wolves live in a somewhat cold environment. I think Timberwolf is not going to get the point, I'm afraid, based on my brief research into wolf taxonomy. Alright, what else is everyone moaning about? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. That was the answer, wasn't it? What did I say the exact answer was? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think The Grinch Who Stole Christmas sounds like another half-pointer to me. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Alon, pretty much everyone wrote The Grinch, so it's not really half a point for everyone. It's a bonus half point for the 1 or 2 teams who got The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. No, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, sorry. Only 1 team. It's a bonus point for the long-departed Panic at the Tesco, and boy, we're glad to have him back. So it stands. Full point for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Other Grinch-related attempts, half a point. Question 15 of round 2. We had 6 films. This is a 6-pointer. We had first About a Boy, then Die Hard, then The Polar Express, then Edward Scissorhands, didn't remember that was Christmassy, then Home Alone, and finally Iron Man 3. That's 6 points for About a Boy, Die Hard. I feel like I got distracted on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Did I not finish the answers to question 14? Yeah, okay. Kat was in the very process of telling me. This is what happens when you quibble. Alrighty. Now I quibbled that for you, didn't I? My apologies. So the films were How the Grinch Stole Christmas, then Jingle All the Way, and then finally Last Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas for the whole point. Other Grinch-related titles for half. Jingle All the Way and Last Christmas. And then we have About a Boy, Die Hard, The Polar Express, Edward Scissorhands, Home Alone, and Iron Man 3. On to question 16. In which classic 1851 novel does the protagonist set sail on a voyage on a cold Christmas day? That is, of course, 80 Days Around the World with Willy Fogg. What? No, hang on. Sorry, what? No, I'm being told that's actually Moby Dick. It is not Willy Fogg. That was Moby Dick. My apologies. Question 17, point for Moby Dick, no points for you if you put Around the World in 80 days. Question 17, 4 Christmas cards from the remaining consonants. We had O Come All Ye Faithful, In the Bleak Midwinter, Away in a Manger, and finally, Once in Royal David City. 4 points for O Come All Ye Faithful, In the Bleak Midwinter, Away in a Manger, and Once in Royal David City. Our German Christmas tree species is the Tannenbaum. Someone put Tenenbaum, but that's close enough. Well, I'll give a point for that. And then our random holiday items were, for a total of 6 points, I think, a menorah, an advent calendar, an elf on the shelf, It's how Jane feels when her graphic design doesn't get complimented. So quickly say nice things about the snow in the chat. Santa's Little Helper, a Yule Log, and Sleigh Bells. 6 points for Menorah, Advent Calendar, Elf on the Shelf, Santa's Little Helper, Yule Log, and Sleigh Bells. And finally, for question 20, we had Celebrity Explorer. It is Roald Amundsen. Amundsen for the point. I see someone put Edmundson, which is pretty much the other guy from Bottom. I'm afraid I'm not going to give a point for Edmundson. Okie dokie. There we are. The people love the snow, Jane. You are back off the shelf. On to the wipeout round. Our last 6 answers. We have got question 1. The other name for Santa Claus is Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle for the point. Either a C or a K is fine. Our antonym of deciduous is evergreen. Donald Duck is Scrooge McDuck's nephew for the point. I'm not going to give the bonus point because I haven't got time to look it up, but it seems like Huey, Dewey and Louie's parents died in a plane crash, which is so sad, and I'm assuming the crash pad was flying, but I may be wrong. Portmanteau word for the holidays, that is Winterval. Winterval. It isn't Festivus for the rest of us, it is Winterval. The northern bit of Finland is Lapland, you all knew that. And to close off with a very Christmassy final answer, the barrel-throwing antagonist to pre-Mario was Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong for the point. So, while the internets allow your very much appreciated marking to wend its way through to the Quizcazoatl central computer, I have just enough time to remind you that we have been asking you if you have a couple of extra pennies and you would like to show your appreciation for the sterling work that Jane does, designing me a physically plausible Christmas hat, which, let's be honest, she didn't have to do. But look how smart it is. Look at the snow. If you appreciate all of the effort that goes into the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz, do please consider making a donation to our ongoing Just Giving campaign for our local food bank, the Lewisham Food Bank. You can do that if you go to www.justgiving.com/Quizcazoatl. If you would like to put us in your hearts and make a donation to a charity of your own choice, of course, that is also just fine by us. It is going to be an odd Christmas, so giving a little is not such a bad thing, is it now? Let's see how the scores are doing. Well, it looks like those have come through except for whoever was marking Team 3. The wipeout hasn't come through, so let me just see whether I can fix that. Well, now they have been marked. Why isn't that coming through? There's always something, isn't there? Oh, okay. No, that has now popped up. Very good, very good. So, I can give you, I can tell you, a close one, as we expected. I have some exciting news coming. So, final scores. The honest to middling hedonists have correctly queried the wintry vibe of this Christmas quiz, given that they are all southern hemispherically based. This is a very legitimate concern and more than an excuse for their score, which is frankly a very strong score, 108.5, but as you know well, in the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz, a good score is not necessarily good enough. So at the real pub, I think you might have won, but I am afraid you are in 10th position, but hemispherically justified. Just a little bit behind the Midway Kings on 112.5. We then have a full 8 teams, all of whom scored maximum points on the wipeout round, with just 6.25 points between them. In 8th place, sounds a bit hippie to me, 113.25. In 7th, we have the Long Orcs, 115, a very strong performance, let down only slightly by a frankly solid but just not quite good enough today first round. The World Health Organization suffered in round 2 and are down on 115. The Footlins, 115.5. 5 Cold Things, 116.5, which means that the top spot today is between past masters retired during the school term, back for Christmas, Panic at the Tesco, last week's winners, the Lockdown Haircuts, and one of our regulars who have never quite made it to the top of the list, Meet the Parents. And I can tell you that on 117.5 points, the Lockdown Haircuts are third, which means that with 119 points, Panic at the Tesco, who last won several months ago, haven't won again. On 119.5, well played, Meet the Parents. I think, I may have forgotten one, but I think that's your first win, is it? Either way, congratulations and Merry Christmas for an excellent performance tonight. All that leaves me is to say to Rick, stop being so mean to the Southerners. Goodness me. And to say, well, thank you everyone for sticking with us. It is really a pleasure to quiz host for you all every week. We will be keeping this up through the end of January, and I suspect at the end of February at least as well, the way things are looking. We will be back next week for what I think is going to be a bit of an end-of-year quiz. And we'll see you then. Same bat time, same